Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have my client Grace with me. A couple of weeks back I showed you guys her third session from going from overlap black box dye to a really beautiful blonde, and we're still in the transition period, and it's basically reality, and it's showing you that even if you overlap black box dye or any color box dye just one time doesn't mean you're going to get your goal hair in 2 or 3 sessions. It was still on the hair. Even if it was one time, it can be a lot. It depends on the person's hair, the health of the hair, the integrity, the texture, the density, all that. And her hair held on to that color very well, locked it in, and even though she's a natural, really light, dirty brown, dirty blondish, it doesn't matter. It's still holding on. And once the hair is stained with that box color especially, and it wasn't professional and the proper developer wasn't used, it just blew out the hair and it held in and sucked in. And what that did was cause us to have staining, which means that as we go on with bleaching her, we're not going to get to the true level that we want to get every session. It's going to be actually a couple extra more sessions than it would be for somebody who had beautiful virgin hair or even use, professional color. So we're on to session 4 today, and we're hoping and keeping our fingers crossed that we're going to get even closer to our level 10 goal. So far her hair has been very, very good. She takes care of it. She uses Olaplex shampoo and conditioner and treatments, and we always are very careful and use a lower developer like 20 volume, and really take our time dusting and trimming her hair in between every session, just so that her hair integrity stays the best that it could be. Will she experience some damage? Absolutely. Bleaching your hair, that's just inevitable. But we're doing our best to keep it as healthy as possible to get her to her goal. If you want to see how session 4 goes today for the half baby light we're about to do, tightly packed, then keep watching. Alright guys, jumping right into today's video, I just wanted to show you guys our starting canvas. She has a lot of brass after 3 sessions, which is normal since we have been kicking through overlap level 1 black box dye. So Grace takes really good care of her hair. She uses Olaplex products regularly, and we always wait 2 months or longer in between each session, depending on the condition of her hair. It's very important I add that after every single session, we at the least trim and dust our hair, getting rid of any split ends so they don't travel up and break. When that does happen, that's what we call breakage. Also, she doesn't use heat regularly, and I always use a lower developer with no heat during the processing period. So I have a video or 2 from our previous sessions, and I'll put them on the card. That's where you can always find videos I talk about or mention in a tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing just a half. We are doing this to make sure her hair can go ahead further, and she's already spent a ton of money, so this way she's on a lower budget and she can actually get something done still today. And then the next session we'll go back to our normal full highlight. Even though we are doing a half, I'm still going to pack these foils in back to back to back as tight as possible with very minimum subsections. The last tutorial you guys seen was an in-depth teasing light tutorial, and you guys seen how I left bigger subsections. Well, today you'll see how I do minimum subsections, the total opposite, leaving only what's left out of my stitch, and that is honestly how I do it about 90% of the time, unless someone wants more dimension. So today we are going to switch it up just a wee bit. Usually we do just a full highlight only, but since we're doing a half, I'm also going to throw a level 6 low light in every few foils. You might be confused to why I would do that if our goal is to get lighter, but adding a low light does make it look lighter and makes those blonde pop a little bit more, and it will also tone down some of the brass that's left out throughout the hair. I'm using Schwarzkopf Blonde Me with 20 volume. I want as much lift as possible, and Blonde Me is extremely strong but yet gentle. It has a bonding agent like Olaplex built in, so after I add my 16th ounce of Olaplex, which I always use, it's then going to give me double the protection. Trust me, adding Olaplex is fine, just more protection, and for her low light, I'm using Redken Shades EQ 6N with a little drop of 6G for my filler. So for her money pieces around the entire hairline, I like to do very small slices. and do them a lot, pack them right in, and then when I start getting back to my normal areas for baby lights, I'll work my way back into the baby lights. But I like to do a lot of slices for her hairline, and I'm doing them even more than I normally would. And I usually don't do it with somebody who has a lot of brass or old color or dark, but with her, she likes to feel really bright, and her money pieces always end up getting even brighter than the rest. So I want to make sure she still feels that brightness during this transformation period. This is the best way I can do it to make her feel blonder than she really is, because the client always sees what's around the face first.
Knowledge of provenance. Throughout my life, you taught me a renegade. Oh, wow. Through all my lows, you said we could start again, but I'm a renegade of your love. Oh, but I'm a renegade of your love.
When it comes to foil placement lately, you probably noticed I love doing the money pieces obviously on a diagonal, and then I'll start my regular side sections on a slight diagonal, and as the head rounds and I get higher up, I start going more horizontal. This is a placement I've been falling in love with a lot lately, and it makes it so when you get to the top, it's a lot more sheeted and it looks a lot brighter, and at the same time, you're getting depth and allowing a lot of dimension to flow throughout the hair when it blows or has movement. But I definitely like landing on a horizontal towards the top of the head lately with my blondes. A lot of you guys, my lovely supporters, always reaching out to me on DMs, on Instagram or email, asking me all kinds of questions. I do want to know, let me know down below in the comment section videos you guys want to see. I want to make sure I'm putting out content that you guys actually want to watch. And that's why this page exists, this channel. It's for you guys. So let me know your video ideas down yonder in the comments section. I know I've been getting a lot of people asking me to do a video on how to speed up with my foiling time. I am a very quick foiler. No two ways about it. I think that the best way to get quicker is the more you do, and it just naturally occurs. I can literally whip out a full, tightly packed baby light within probably an hour and a half on my own. If I have an assistant, it obviously speeds the time up a little bit. If they're handing me foils or mixing my bleach, a little bit goes a long way. It can actually take 20-30 minutes off just by having somebody mix my bleach and hand me the foils. When it comes to the speed and how quick you are with foiling, take my advice. Do not rush. Your client rather you take longer and do a better job and pack those foils in as many as possible instead of rushing through and not doing a thorough enough job and having splotchiness and bleeders. Take your time and the time will get quicker on its own. That's my advice to all of you guys. Some people are naturally a slower foiler and some are faster, and that is okay. It all depends on how good the work is that you do. All right, quickly moving into the back of the section, sometimes I'll do an upside down triangle, and then sometimes during a half, I'll just do a little box. So today I decided to do the horizontal box, and I'm gonna go up horizontally because I want it to match the top of the front sections and have a lot of blonde. So as you see, I'm still packing my baby lights in, and I also did about 15 to 20 foils underneath the hairline. This is what my half highlight includes. I will link my half highlight breakdown placement video I did with pricing as well in the card. And it shows you how I go over and I do the whole entire hairline so that it looks like everything's done when the client lifts their hair up in a high ponytail or bun. This is like a very popular placement that a lot of people like to get that are my clients. Once they have the color they want, this is usually their go-to for a couple of months. I've even had people go 2 years until they got another full just because they didn't need it, because you don't tell that underneath is not done because I do the underneath. This is optional. If somebody's getting a half and they don't want the foils on the bottom, they don't have to do so. But I think it's cool that I give the option, and it just makes it look like the whole entire head's done. So also you can notice on the side sections, after I finished those two front pieces, or sections you want to say, I ended up teasing and painting all the dropouts that were left out. We want to kick through this brass and this old color once and for all. So I'm literally going to foil, tease, and paint every single hair that's left out in between each foil so we can kick out as much brass and eliminate as much of it as possible. And I will bump my developer up to 30 volume when I'm doing this. The only time I ever use 30 is when I'm doing the teased dropouts, and the reason I do that is two different reasons. One, because those foils are not going to be on as long as the regular Babylight foils, and number two, the Babylight foils that are folded up against the head are going to get a lot of the heat, and the ones that are laid out, the teased dropouts, they will not get that heat. They'll stay cooler, so they won't process as well. So that's why I always bump my developer up when I'm doing the teased dropouts. Another fun fact is I usually don't tease and weave or tease the dropouts at all unless the client has blonde ends and they're above a level 7. I used to do teasing dropouts all the time on darker clients and brunette if I'm taking them blonde, and I would find that it would never, no matter how long it was on, no matter how I bumped the developer up, it would never process evenly. So I'd have to go in and have to tone differently, and it was just a mess. So the only time I'll do it is if the ends are actually lighter and almost to our goal, or we just need to pop them out a little bit. But with her, this is our 4th session. We need to make more grounds, and I'm trying to make her as light as possible, but keeping the health in the back of my mind.
Been on the streets a few months. I'm trying to pick myself up. I may be living alone, but I still believe in love. And although my flaws had dragged me down on the coldest night, I'm still kicking around. And then I saw you back before my time was shortened. No, throughout my life you've called me.
Alright guys, so we just did a full tightly packed Babylight, all teased dropouts. We did a half, all this, when I do a half, I do underneath as well. Then all that gets left out. It's a little bit more than half, but my clients love it because it's cheaper and you really don't need the underneath. So because we're taking her lighter, I wanted to kick out all the dropouts. And we use Schwarzkopf Lamy 20 volume. The dropouts are 30 volume. And the Lowlight I did randomly every couple foils is Redken Shades EQ 6N 6G with 10 volume. So we're gonna let her process for a few minutes, and then we're gonna pull the foils and root shadow her and tone her. Stay tuned. So since I used a level 6 for a low light and her natural hair color is a level 6, I decided to root shadow her using a level 6. So I'm using 6N with a splash of 6NA to counteract any brass that has transpired during the lifting process. And also her roots always lift the best. So we're gonna let this sit about 15 minutes and actually bring down those perfectly lifted roots. Reason her root area does lift better is because it's virgin hair. That is to be expected. The permanent box dye is on the mids and ends, and that obviously is not gonna lift well. So it gives us the illusion that those roots are always a lot brighter. And that's what I like to refer to as hot roots. Look at those money pieces, you guys, all around hairline sliced to perfection. I'll definitely link my video on the card of where I go over money pieces that I posted a couple weeks ago if you guys want to see a video on that. So normally once everything is shadowed or smudged or tapped, I always like to go in on the money piece area about 2 minutes before I'm about to rinse out the root shadow. So with her, I'm tapping around and bringing it about an inch down, but I'm gonna let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Reason being, we don't want it to be like a big chunk, too bright, and it doesn't come together with the rest of the hair. This will still make her feel really light, but it won't be as scary and bright. So for her toner, I used 8 different colors, 8T, 8N, 8WG, 8B, 9P, 9M, 9G, 9NW. My advice when you're dealing with orange and yellow tones, especially around that 6, 7, 8 level, you have to use warmth and neutrals to counteract, because if you just throw ash everywhere like you want to, you're gonna have silver pieces and then you're gonna have orange pieces. Look how beautiful that root shadow looks. Now we're gonna move in with the toner, and I can't wait for you guys to see these final results. It's gonna be beautiful. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Now I want you guys to look at the hair here and then watch what it looks like outside. You guys, slow and steady always wins the race. These results are beautiful. Keeping our fingers crossed. Let me know if you guys want to see the next round, and I'll definitely film it for you guys. Oh, look, there's Patty, my old assistant. Let me know down below what you guys think. Tell me how you like this video. Tell me what videos you want to see. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my new vlogging channel. The link's down below. I am Brett Ryan. I appreciate all the love and support, you guys. And until the next one, so long for now.